What if your destiny was already drawn, long before you were born? What if ancient temples were not just places to pray, but maps that explain your life and the universe itself? And what if the gods people talk about were not outside forces, but signs pointing to a higher intelligence guiding human life? Today, many people feel confused about their future. We work hard, chase success, and still feel unsure, anxious, and lost. We ask questions like, why is my life going this way? Or, is my destiny fixed? Or can I change it? These questions are not new. Thousands of years ago, ancient Indian thinkers asked the same questions, but their answers were carved in stone, not written in books. They built temples not only for worship, but as living lessons about destiny, time, space, and the universe. Every wall, direction, shape, and silence inside a temple was designed to teach people how life works. Ancient temples were planned with deep knowledge of the sun, stars, seasons, and human awareness. The center of a temple was kept silent and dark to remind people that all creation begins from stillness. The tall towers pointed upward to show the connection between earth and the sky. Walking inside a temple was meant to reflect the journey of life itself, where movement around a calm center brings balance. These were not random ideas. They were based on observation, discipline, and a deep trust that the universe follows order, not chaos. Many myths say these temples were designed by gods, not humans. But what if this means something deeper? What if gods symbolized higher awareness, where human ego was silent and wisdom flowed freely? In a world full of noise and distraction, we may have forgotten how to listen to that wisdom. This video will take you through powerful insights hidden inside ancient temples and connect them to your daily struggles, fears, and hopes. By the end, you may see destiny not as a burden, but as a path you can walk with clarity and strength. Watch till the end for a deeper understanding. And if this journey touches your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring stories like this. In ancient India, destiny was not seen as a harsh force that controlled human life without mercy. It was understood as a natural order, just like the rising of the sun, the change of seasons, and the movement of stars across the sky. People believed that life followed a rhythm, and when a person lived in harmony with that rhythm, life felt meaningful and calm. This way of thinking helped people face fear, loss, and uncertainty with strength. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they asked, "What is this teaching me?" Destiny was not punishment, but guidance, helping a person grow step by step. Ancient thinkers closely observed nature. They saw that everything in the universe moved in patterns. The moon affected the oceans, the sun shaped time, and seasons influenced crops and human moods. From this, they believed that human life was also connected to the same cosmic system. Temples were built to reflect this understanding. They were not only spiritual places, but models of the universe itself. The structure of a temple showed how the cosmos worked, reminding people that their lives were part of something much larger. When people entered a temple, they were stepping into a physical lesson about balance, order, and destiny. These temples also worked as silent teachers. Many people in ancient times could not read or write, so stone became the language of wisdom. The layout, the direction, the steps, and even the empty spaces were designed to teach how life should flow. Temples showed that when life is lived with balance, patience, and awareness, destiny becomes clearer. The idea was simple. When your actions match the natural order, life supports you. When they don't, life feels heavy and confusing. Today, many people feel lost because this trust in order has weakened. We live fast, make quick choices, and expect instant results. When things go wrong, we feel broken or unlucky. Ancient wisdom offered a different view. It taught that confusion comes when we move against the natural rhythm of life. Temples reminded people to slow down, observe, and realign themselves. Destiny was never meant to trap humans. It was meant to guide them gently, like a river guiding water toward the ocean. When people understood this, fear reduced and purpose returned. Ancient Indian temples were designed as physical maps of the universe, where every part of the structure carried meaning. At the heart of the temple was the Garbhagriha, the inner chamber. This space was small, dark, and quiet, symbolizing the center of the universe and the source of all creation. Ancient thinkers believed that just as the universe began from a silent point, human awareness also begins in stillness. When people stood in this space, they were reminded that peace does not come from noise or movement, but from silence within. This idea helped people understand that to find direction in life, one must first find inner calm. Rising above this center was the temple tower, known as the Shikara or Vimana. This tower represented the cosmic mountain, often linked to Mount Meru, which ancient texts described as the center of the universe. The upward movement of the tower symbolized growth, effort, and the journey from the physical world toward higher awareness. It reminded people that while life begins in stillness, it grows through effort and direction. The tower also showed the connection between earth and sky, teaching that human life stands between material needs and higher purpose. Direction played an important role in temple design. Most temples faced east, welcoming the first light of the rising sun. This was not only symbolic, but practical. The sun represented time, energy, and renewal. Entering a temple with the morning light reminded people that every day is a new chance to realign their lives. The movement of light inside the temple showed how time flows and how destiny changes with awareness and action. These ideas offered a strong lesson for daily life. Ancient people believed that just as a temple had a clear center and direction, human life also needed focus and balance. When a person loses their inner center, life feels scattered and confusing. Temples were built to remind people to return to that center again and again. In today's world, many people feel pulled in many directions by work, fear, and desire. Ancient temple design quietly teaches that when life has a strong inner core and a clear direction, destiny stops feeling chaotic. Instead, it becomes a journey guided by understanding, patience, and steady movement forward. Ancient Indian temples were not only built with faith, but also with deep knowledge of numbers, shapes, and balance. Sacred geometry was the hidden language used to explain destiny and the universe without words. Builders followed precise measurements and clear proportions, even though they did not have modern machines or tools. Stones were cut and placed with such accuracy that many temples still stand strong after thousands of years. This was not done for beauty alone. Ancient thinkers believed that when structure follows order, the human mind also feels calm and focused. Geometry was seen as a bridge between the outer world and inner awareness. Simple shapes like squares, circles, and triangles were used again and again in temple design. The square represented stability and earth, the circle symbolized time and movement, and the triangle showed growth and direction. These shapes were combined into yantras and mandalas, which acted as visual maps of the universe and the human mind. When a person looked at these forms or walked through them, their thoughts slowly became more organized. The temple itself became a silent guide, helping people move from confusion to clarity. Ancient people believed that when the mind follows order, destiny becomes easier to understand. Numbers also played an important role. Certain counts of steps, pillars, and spaces were chosen carefully. These numbers were linked to natural cycles like days, months, breath, and heartbeat. This taught people that life is not random. Just as numbers follow rules, life also follows patterns. When people respected these patterns through discipline and awareness, life felt smoother. Mathematics was not cold or distant for ancient thinkers. It was a spiritual tool meant to bring peace, balance, and trust in life's flow. In contrast, modern life often feels scattered. People live without rhythm, rush through days, and jump from one desire to another. Homes and cities are built quickly, without thinking about balance or inner peace. As a result, stress and confusion grow. Ancient temple wisdom offers a quiet reminder. When life has structure, even simple routines become powerful. When thoughts are arranged with care, fear reduces. Sacred geometry teaches that destiny is not controlled by luck, but shaped by order. When humans bring balance into their actions and thinking, life responds with stability. The temple was not just a building of stone, but a lesson showing that a well-structured life creates a peaceful and meaningful destiny. Many ancient stories say that Indian temples were designed by gods, not humans. At first, this sounds like a miracle beyond human ability, but when we look deeper, this idea carries a powerful meaning. Ancient sages believed that true knowledge did not come from personal pride or loud effort. It came from silence, focus, and deep awareness. Through long periods of meditation and observation, they believed wisdom revealed itself naturally. When temple designs appeared in dreams or inner visions, people did not claim them as personal achievements. They believed they were receiving guidance from a higher source, which they respectfully called gods. Because of this belief, the builders of temples never carved their names on the walls. They did not seek praise or fame. Their work was seen as a service, not a display of skill. This shows a level of humility that is rare today. Ancient builders believed that when ego is quiet, intelligence flows freely. The idea of God-built temples was not meant to reduce human effort, but to honor the state of mind in which humans became clear channels for wisdom. Gods, in this sense, were not distant figures sitting in the sky, but symbols of higher understanding, balance, and creative force. In modern times, people often struggle because they are always trying to control everything. Decisions are rushed, minds are crowded, and silence feels uncomfortable. As a result, many people feel disconnected from their inner guidance. Ancient wisdom warned about this. It taught that when the mind is noisy, destiny becomes unclear. Temples were designed as quiet spaces where people could slow down and listen. The stillness inside these structures was meant to help people reconnect with their natural intelligence. This chapter of temple wisdom offers an important lesson for today's world. Destiny does not speak through fear or pressure. It speaks through calm awareness. When ancient people said temples were designed by gods, they were pointing to a state where human ego steps aside and deeper understanding takes over. When people learn to pause, observe, and act with clarity, life begins to guide them again. The message is simple but powerful. Wisdom is always available, but it can only be heard when the mind becomes silent enough to listen. One of the most powerful lessons hidden inside ancient temples is the idea that destiny is not fixed or frozen. This lesson is taught through movement. When people enter a temple, they are not asked to stand still and wait for blessings. They are asked to walk, step by step, around the central space. This movement, known as walking around the inner shrine, was designed to show how life truly works. At the center there is stillness, but around it there is motion. Ancient thinkers believed that life grows when movement happens with awareness. Destiny changes not by force, but by steady and mindful action. The path inside a temple is never straight and rushed. People move slowly, often in a circular way. This teaches patience. It shows that life does not move in sharp lines. Growth happens gradually. The circle also reminds people that life brings repeated chances. Even if someone feels lost today, tomorrow they can walk again with better understanding. Ancient temples never supported the idea that a person is helpless before fate. Instead, they showed that effort, repeated daily, slowly reshapes life. Steps and levels inside temples also carried meaning. Some temples required people to climb steps before entering. This symbolized effort and discipline. Nothing meaningful was meant to come without preparation. Destiny was seen as something that responds to action. If a person remained lazy or careless, life reflected that. If a person became disciplined and aware, life slowly opened new paths. This idea gave people hope and responsibility at the same time. There are many real-life examples of this truth. Think of someone who feels stuck in life, repeating the same mistakes, blaming luck or destiny. When that person changes small habits, wakes earlier, becomes patient, and acts with care, life slowly shifts. Ancient temples taught this lesson long before modern self-help ideas existed. They showed that even small steps taken daily can change the direction of a life. The deeper message is clear and comforting. Destiny is not a wall blocking your path. It is a road that responds to how you walk on it. Temples were built to remind people that movement guided by awareness always leads to change. When action and understanding walk together, destiny becomes a partner, not an enemy. Ancient temples also carried deep wisdom about human suffering. Long before modern psychology or medicine, people understood that pain was not only physical. Fear, sadness, anger, and confusion were seen as forms of inner suffering. Temples were designed as healing spaces to calm these hidden wounds. The quiet halls, repeated patterns, steady rhythm of walking, and gentle light were all meant to slow the mind. When the mind slows down, the body relaxes, and when both relax, pain begins to soften. Ancient people believed that healing starts when a person feels safe and centered within. Suffering was not viewed as punishment from destiny. Instead, it was seen as a sign of misalignment. Just like a wheel makes noise when it is not balanced, the human mind creates pain when it moves away from its natural rhythm. Temples reminded people to return to balance. The steady repetition of prayers, bells, and steps helped the mind settle. Over time, people felt lighter, not because their problems disappeared, but because their understanding grew stronger. Pain was treated as a message, not an enemy. In today's world, many people appear successful on the outside, but feel empty inside. They have money, status, and comfort, yet sleep poorly and feel restless. This happens because modern life focuses only on outer growth. Ancient wisdom warned about this imbalance. Temples were built to protect inner health first. Without inner peace, outer success loses meaning. A person may reach goals, but still feel lost. This kind of suffering is silent and often ignored. Temple wisdom offered a simple solution. Before fixing the world outside, fix the space inside. Sit in silence, slow your breath, and observe your thoughts. When inner order returns, outer problems feel easier to handle. Destiny becomes less heavy because the mind becomes stronger. Ancient people trusted that when inner alignment is restored, life naturally moves toward balance. This teaching is deeply comforting. It tells us that suffering does not mean we are broken or unlucky. It means something within us needs attention and care. Temples were built as reminders that healing is possible for everyone. When we align our inner world, destiny stops hurting us and begins guiding us gently toward peace and clarity. The deepest message of ancient temples is not about stone, gods, or history, but about you. Ancient thinkers believed that the human body itself is a living temple. Just like a temple has a strong center, the human body has a spine that holds everything upright. Just like a temple follows rhythm, the human body follows breath. Breath moves in and out like the tides of the ocean, reminding us that life is guided by natural cycles. When breath becomes calm, the mind becomes calm. And when the mind becomes calm, destiny feels lighter. Ancient wisdom taught that the mind is a small universe. Thoughts move like planets, emotions rise and fall like seasons, and silence exists like deep space. Temples were built to show this truth from the outside, so humans could understand it on the inside. When people entered a temple, they were actually entering a mirror of their own inner world. The chaos they felt inside slowly settled as they walked, breathed, and observed. This taught them that destiny is shaped first in the mind, long before it appears in life. The idea of gods also changes here. Gods were not meant to be distant beings controlling life from above. They represented higher human potential. Strength, wisdom, patience, compassion, and clarity were given names and forms so people could relate to them. Worship was not about fear. It was about remembering what humans could become. When ancient people bowed before a deity, they were bowing to the best qualities within themselves. This understanding gave people confidence instead of weakness. Seen this way, your life is also a cosmic map. Every experience, even pain and failure, has meaning. Nothing is wasted. Each event shapes awareness, just like each stone shapes a temple. You are not lost, you are under construction. Ancient temples remind us that growth takes time, patience, and care. No great structure is built in a day. This realization is deeply motivating. You are not small, broken, or forgotten by destiny. You are part of a vast, intelligent design that is still unfolding. When you live with awareness, discipline, and kindness toward yourself, destiny responds. The temple was never separate from you. You were always the living temple, carrying the universe within you, walking your path step by step toward clarity and purpose. All the lessons hidden in ancient temples come together to show a single truth. Destiny is not something outside of you, and life is not random. From the careful design of walls and towers to the quiet spaces inside, every temple was built to teach people that the universe follows order, rhythm, and balance. These lessons are not limited to the past. They apply to every person today. Life may feel confusing, stressful, or unfair, but the same principles that guided temple design can guide you. The temples remind us to find stillness, follow natural rhythms, and walk carefully on the path of life, step by step. Just like temples have a strong center, every human needs an inner center. Your mind, body, and spirit are connected, and when you align them, life becomes smoother. The ancient builders understood that real power comes from inner calm, awareness, and patience. They also knew that destiny does not punish, it guides. When your actions, thoughts, and intentions follow a natural order, life responds with clarity, opportunity, and growth. Even challenges are not meaningless. They are messages asking you to adjust, learn, and become stronger. The idea of gods, sacred geometry, and cosmic patterns all point to one lesson. Wisdom is available if we are willing to listen. Silence, reflection, and conscious movement are tools to connect with this guidance. Temples were never just buildings. They were mirrors, showing humans their own potential. Each step inside the temple, each light, each pattern was meant to awaken understanding and inspire courage. By learning from these lessons, you can see that your life is a living temple where every thought and action matters. You are not small or lost. You are part of a larger, intelligent design, capable of growth, peace, and purpose. Ancient temples were built to guide us, and today, their message is clear. Destiny is not something to fear, but something to walk with awareness, step by step, toward clarity and meaning.